So look, we're marking the 6-month anniversary of Mike Pence being so wrong, and really just hoping that even though, as you said, he's shameless, he's not going to apologize or admit that he was wrong. But a couple of months ago, he was on the news, and they brought it up then how wrong he was. Now, bear in mind, we're gonna show you some video. This is before the worst surge. Okay, he was already wrong by so much then. This is August 21st, several months ago. We had already lost 174,000 people. So you remember, it was about 130,000 dead Americans ago. So here he is, and he is going. I want you to watch when the news person says the predictions for how many could die. Take a look at his body language here.
Just so people know, was how many more Americans will lose their lives by the end of the year. The IMHE model that you look at, I know, projects it could be 300,000 by the end of the year. One more thing on China, the president did suspend travel from China, did not suspend travel from Europe until mid-March. And a lot of the cases that did come to the eastern United States are believed to have come of there.
So did you see that? When the news person said 300,000, which it turned out was an underestimate. We're gonna lose like probably 20 or 30,000 more people than that. He just did this. He shook his head. It's not that guy's prediction. It's not the news's prediction. That's what the scientists were saying. And what do you know? Turned out they were really right. This is like way before this most recent surge. And they apparently had figured it out. That's about how many have died. They were a bit off, a bit low. We've lost more, like 10% more than that. But he just shakes his head and he's wrong again. Wrong in June, wrong in July, wrong in August, but it doesn't matter. Because being wrong, even if it leads to thousands and thousands of people dying, there's no consequences. Our system has no consequences for getting thousands of people killed. It seems like an issue. Maybe we should look into that in the future.
No accountability. I noticed one of your viewers commented that this is fear propaganda, is talking about wearing masks and talking about thousands of people in the country dying every single day. These are called facts, people. They're not. It's not fear propaganda. I have relatives that are like, you guys are living in fear wearing masks. I wear shoes, okay? I'm not living in fear of stepping on a tack out in the road or a piece of glass. I'm just being proactive and I'm putting shoes on my feet so that I don't get a jagged piece of metal and get tetanus shoved in my foot. This whole idea that we're afraid and living in fear because we're trying to be proactive and prevent death is just as bad as acting like nothing's going on. I mean, if your relative dies and you just go, well, it's on our way to herd immunity. I guess we didn't need grandma that much. She's doing her part for the country. Like if these elderly people are soldiers or something, we're just sending them off to battle.
That's a great point. And I would say that while you're right that it's not proof that we're living in fear, I would say, look, even if that was why you were doing it, let's say you're doing it because you're afraid. You're afraid of getting COVID. Okay, you should be. Hundreds of thousands of people are getting it literally every single day. And I want to hear more about how I shouldn't live in fear of imaginary things from a community that I'm imagining the Venn diagram has a great deal of overlap, who stock their house with like 30 assault rifles because they believe a pack of cannibal scavengers are gonna break into their house. These are the people that we should be going to for threat assessments. Right. No,
the same people that were afraid of the. Go ahead, John.
I was gonna say hundreds of thousands of people weren't killed Mad Max style by bandits, but hundreds of thousands have died from COVID. So I would argue that we're doing a little bit better in estimating which threats we need to watch out for.
Well, they play up the threats that are convenient to them, just the same as they were so afraid of the Black Panther Party, and they're so much as they're afraid of Black Lives Matter, that they're this militant group that wants to take over and burn everything. That's fear mongering. That is exactly what put Kyle Rittenhouse in the streets murdering people. That is fear mongering, not us saying, hey, wear a mask, stay inside, don't have a massive party for Thanksgiving. That's the difference. But our country, our politicians make decisions based on capitalism, make decisions based on the bottom line. They have not, I don't know if ever, but definitely not, and for several decades, made decisions based on the welfare of the people, made decisions based on human capital. And we cannot expect that to change for many years, John. We are not going to see that change with the Biden administration. I mean, I don't know if you agree with that, but it's definitely not going to happen in these next 4 years.
No, I think he's the best. I think he's better than Bernie, actually. No.
How dare you, sir?
Yeah, you win some, you lose some. Okay, so we don't get fundamental change, but we did get Pete Buttigieg in the cabinet, so that is good. He's going to be in charge of transportation, so I'm not worried anymore. Anyway, I'm never gonna let that go. Anyway, yes, I certainly agree. We got to replace a lot more of them in office. We've done a good job with a few, but we need to do 10, 20, 30 times as many.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.